okay, do not intersect, and higher indifference curve gives more satisfaction. So now we will discuss these 2 points. Do not intersect. Okay, we never assume that any two indifference curves can intersect. That is not possible. Why that is not possible? These are two indifference curves. So whatever satisfaction you are getting on A point is equal to B point, because both are on same indifference curve. This is called indifference curve 2. Suppose this is indifference curve 1. So our A point is giving us equal satisfaction to our C point, because again both points are on same indifference curve 1. So satisfaction from A is equal to satisfaction from B and is equal to satisfaction from C. But if we compare this point, you are getting this much of X and this much of Y on this point, and if you compare this point with B point, you will see more X you are consuming and more Y you are consuming. If you are consuming more of X and more of Y on B as compared to on C, how can you get equal satisfaction on both the points? This is not possible. So this is not possible. So two indifference curve will never intersect each other. Next one was higher indifference curve gives you more satisfaction. So you can understand it like this. If these are two indifference curves, satisfaction is same on one indifference curve, on every point it is same. But if we compare any point on this indifference curve with that of on this indifference curve, every point of this indifference curve will give you more satisfaction. Why it is so? Let's compare these points. You are consuming this much of X and this much of Y on indifference curve 1. Now we will compare it with indifference curve 2. When we are comparing it with indifference curve 2, either on indifference curve 2 you are consuming same Y and more X, or you are consuming same X but more Y, or if we compare this A point with this B point, you are consuming more X and more Y than on A point. So on B point you are consuming more X and more Y. So obviously, that is obvious that if you are consuming more commodities, your satisfaction will be more. So that's why higher indifference curve gives you more satisfaction. Next point about the properties is need not be parallel. Okay, if you are a consumer and I'm asking you to reveal your preferences, means to draw a indifference curve map for any two commodities. Okay, I'm asking you that suppose you are consuming bananas and mangoes, and you have to plot various combinations of these two commodities which are providing you same satisfaction. Then I am asking you to increase the quantity of X and Y both, so you will draw one more indifference curve. Then again I am increasing a quantity of these commodities, again you are consuming more. So this is about the preference of a consumer, and this consumer will not calculate its satisfaction so that he can draw the indifference curves which are parallel. He will not do that. So it is not necessary that these are parallel. You can see here these curves are not parallel. This difference is less, this is more. So if these indifference curves are parallel, that is only by chance. So next is do not touch y axis or x axis. Okay, if I assume that any indifference curve is touching this axis, x axis, on this point you are consuming 0 y and this much of x, means you are not consuming two commodities, you are consuming only one commodity. Similarly, if this indifference curve touch y axis, so again here you are consuming this much of y but 0x, again you are consuming only one commodity, and we assume that we consume at least two commodities. Okay, next is, it is more complex in case of more than two goods. Okay, we assume that we are taking only two commodities, but sometimes we have to take more than two commodities also. So that is not impossible. It is not impossible to assume more than two commodities, but this analysis will be very complex and it will not be so easy to be understood or to be explained. So these are the properties of indifference curve. So indifference curve is very important tool and we will be using it in our analysis. So now you are much aware about indifference curve. So let's talk about assumption of our law. So now we are talking about indifference curve approach or ordinal utility approach, and these are assumptions of this approach. In economics, we always assume some points first and then we explain our analysis or our law accordingly. So first one is ordinal utility. Yes, we assume that you can give only orders or ranks. You cannot measure utility precisely in numbers. Next is consumer is rational, or you can say consumer is utility maximizer. If your consumer is not utility maximizer, then this law will not be applicable to that. Next is transitivity. As here, one thing is very important, that what a consumer is revealing about its preferences. Means when he is saying, okay, I'm getting more utility from A, sometimes he is saying, okay, I'm getting equal utility from A combination and N combination and from S combination. So he is revealing his preferences like this. That's why transitivity is very important here. What is meaning of a transitivity? This is important assumption. If a person prefers A than B, means he is having two commodities or bundles of two commodities, groups of two commodities, then he is preferring A than B. Now he is preferring B than C. B is providing more satisfaction to him than C. So automatically it is automatically proven that he will prefer A than C. He will prefer A than C. This type of behavior is called transitivity. Means a transparent behavior should be there of a consumer. If he is behaving like A is preferred than B, B is preferred than C, and if he says C is preferred than A, no, this is not acceptable in this analysis. Next is consistency. What is meaning of a consistency? If a consumer is preferring A than B, so during this analysis it will not happen. He will not prefer B than A. Once if he reveals that he prefer A than B, then during this whole analysis his preference will be consistent. He will not quickly change his mind or his preferences. Next is diminishing marginal rate of substitution. Sometimes we write MRS like this, marginal rate of substitution for x for y, xy. We also write it like this sometimes. So diminishing marginal rate of substitution means we are assuming that our indifference curve is convex to origin. Okay, next, this is very important point, weak ordering. What is weak ordering? Okay, initially we assumed that consumer can only give orders or ranks, but this ordering may be of two types. One is strong ordering and one is weak ordering. So here in this analysis we depend upon weak ordering. What is strong ordering? When strongly you are saying A is preferred than B, B is preferred than C. When you are ordering like this, means clearly you are revealing that you prefer any commodity or any bundle of good more than the another one. But weak ordering, in weak ordering you will reveal that you are getting equal satisfaction from this and this commodity. If there are many commodities and many combinations of the commodities, you are able to reveal that you are getting equal satisfaction from this combination and from that combination. So when you reveal the combinations which are providing you equal satisfaction, you will put them in same line, means you will be getting equal satisfaction from these bundles. This type of ordering is called weak ordering. Here you are not accepting or rejecting any commodity on over another commodity. So we use two goods model here. So for simplicity we assume there are only two commodities, suppose X and Y, or you can take any example of two commodities. So for simplicity, because if we take more than two commodities, this analysis will be very complex. So here we assume that we will be taking only two commodities.